local horrors and fellow Dead Eights. I'm Brendan.
I'm Sam.
And welcome to Our Life in Horror.
We are on Instagram, TikTok, and X. I'm always scared I'm going to say X and Twitter in the same thing.
Yes.
And our email is ourlifeinhorror@hotmail.com. We're also on Patreon, where we do extra content. I'm just going to start saying that from now on because things change.
Yep,
we do extra content, but we try to keep up with the after hours shows where we just shoot the shit. So thank you for subscribers, Miki, Bo, AJ, Rob, Kayla, Craig, and Jay. Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon. Today we have a special guest. We have my friend David. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Excited to be here, but also terrified, so...
No need to be terrified. We are a safe space.
Yes.
It's just like chatting on Twitter together, except we're in face-to-face.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug your Twitter account for people to follow, or do you not want to? That's totally up to you.
It's at SparklyGoodness. It's nothing particularly exciting. I just retweet probably the same horror gifs that everyone's seen 10 times a day already. But yeah, that's awesome. It really.
Awesome. No, I like what you do. You always post what you're watching. You're always giving recommendations. You're taking recommendations. And I think that's like the most fun part about the horror community on Twitter. So
yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. Do you want to talk about what's happening going forward with the podcast, or do you want me to?
You should, because I'm not 100% all there yet. So
I know he's tired. Yeah. Apologies. I am too, but
you got to sleep in this morning.
And I'm turning it on. So this is our last. It says on the banner for those that are watching on YouTube. Actually, we have video on Spotify now too, but it's our last Spotify, Apple episode, whatever, podcast episode, technically. We transitioned to YouTube, as everyone knows, in March, I think, and we want to focus more on the YouTube. So the podcast isn't really gone. We're still going to be doing these movie discussions, but they're not going to be technically podcast episodes. We want to do them live going forward. So, collaborate with more people, do them live on YouTube at night. They won't be weekly. They won't be scheduled every Monday, but just something different we want to do.
Yeah, so we'll be also putting out hopefully more content. So we'll be doing more shorter horror movie reviews, like just things that we watch, and then we'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be keeping up with my physical media stuff, and you have your reviews that you put out with all your straight to DVD bad movies that you love to watch, which I don't refuse not to watch, but I just don't have any interest when you are watching them.
Yeah.
And then we're going to...
Trailer reviews.
Yeah, we'll try to keep up with the trailer reviews and the weekly news.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will still have these lengthy discussions. They just won't be as often. We're not going to do them every Monday like we've been doing. And sorry to Spotify, Apple users. Find us on YouTube.
You can pay for YouTube now to have your videos always playing.
You can what?
You can pay for YouTube so that...
They play without the screen on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nifty. Yeah. If you feel like paying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll say what movie we're getting into. Is there anything else we have to say?
Yeah, David, what's your favorite scary movie?
Psycho, to go with a classic.
Very classic.
That's one I haven't seen.
It's very good.
I want to see it. It's on my watch list. There's so many movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got you into horror?
I think, because my memory is terrible, so like trying to think back to the first thing I ever saw just leads me to just look out the window and be like, what was it? I think it was Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, classic. I love that show as a kid.
Because it's so good, and Brendan, you'll relate to this, I hope. The Weremole episode traumatized me.
Yeah.
It just yeah. But yeah, it was probably Courage the Cowardly Dog because that was like accessible horror. So
I've
Yeah.
never even heard of that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's a kids' cartoon, so I don't know
Oh,
if people have much interest in it now, but it is a classic.
On Tubi at the moment, well, as of about 3 weeks ago, there's a Scooby-Doo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, like crossover film that you need, and you don't need prior knowledge of either franchise to understand it. So,
Oh, cool. Okay. Do you want to tell us what the movie is that you picked for today, and why did you pick it?
yeah, it's Sweetheart from 2019, I believe, and I picked it because it's really good, and I don't hear it get talked about a lot, and it had, because it came out like straight to streaming, and I looked up online, and I still don't know why. It just was, but I don't hear it get talked about enough, so wanted to sort that out.
Yeah, no, I love that. I actually did not even know what this movie was when you brought it up, so I like when we discover new things.
I think this is one of like Blumhouse's halfway to Halloween horror movie streaming dumps.
I don't even know what that is, what that means.
So I think they do, like, they'll put out like 3 movies a year halfway to Halloween that I don't think that they thought would be successful in theaters, and they put it straight to streaming.
Oh.
And they kind of make like a little event about it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I think. Don't quote me on that. I could be totally wrong, but that's just my idea.
Okay. That's not in my fun facts, so I can't answer that for you. Okay, do you want me to get into the cast and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Sweetheart, a shipwreck survivor on an uninhabited tropical island must fend off a malevolent force that surfaces each night. Release date is October 22nd, 2019. Director is J.D. Dillard. 5.8 on IMDb, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. The cast, it's starring Kiersey Clemens, Emroy Cohen, Hannah Mangan Lawrence. It's really starring Kiersey Clemens, but I was generous to add in a couple people there. So I did not see a budget or anything like that, but yeah, spoiler-free thoughts. What do you guys think of this movie? David, what did you think of this movie?
Well, I thought it was good, which is why I recommended it. But it's it manages to do, like, one of the things I like about it is that it's kind of obvious that it's like low budget, but it manages to do a lot with a little. That's a lot with a little. Like, spoiler free, there's a whole scene where there's obviously something happening, but you can only see her face while she's hiding in a tree trunk. But the sound design is so good that it's still as terrifying as if you could see what was happening. So it did stuff like that. And the first, I think it's like the first 40 minutes is just her as well. And almost dialogue free as well, I think. So it's like, it's that sort of stuff that, like, made it stick out in my mind, because it was a lot of it you had to, like, it was, she carried it without saying anything, and then for more of the horror inflected stuff, it was like a lot more was like based on the sound design than just CGI-ness. So it was something a little different. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Brendan, what did you think of this movie?
I do agree it's good. I was extremely frustrated with some things that were left out of this movie. I think this movie could have been a little bit longer. Get into that later.
Longer, the word I hate.
It's a short movie, is it not? It's
No, it is, I know.
it would have justified having 8 more minutes in this movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
For how I would have done it, it would have worked for me. The Boy Scouts coming out, it's like all survival and stuff that kind of got glossed over, but the effects are good. The CGI is actually good. Yeah, it's an interesting story because by the end of it, you're not sure exactly if what you're seeing is actually what you're seeing. I guess so. It kind of has pondering.
Yeah.
But anyways, the sound design, like you said, is also very good. But Sam, what did you think?
Okay, I liked it. And considering there is one person in this movie for the first, I can't remember how long, but a lot of the movie, and minimum dialogue, and it's a monster movie, which is not my thing, I liked it. So that says a lot. I don't think this is like a... we'll get to that at the end. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was good. I enjoyed the watch. I also like deserted island movies and stuff like that, and I haven't seen one in like a really long time. So I don't know if that's what intrigued me, but I agree there are a couple things that I wish I had a little bit more insight on. But we'll talk about that in the spoilers. I can't say too much.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say spoiler-free thoughts about this movie. I liked it. But with that, we will get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you've been warned. David, describe this movie in 3 words.
Tense. Suspenseful and wet.
Good. Yeah. Brendan?
Oh boy. Isolated. Beautiful environment.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Made me want to go on vacation, but just not there. I'm going to go, I was going to say suspenseful as well, because there's a lot of things that still have me guessing what's happening. And I will go, so suspenseful, monster, and frustrating, and I'll explain that later.
Okay.
Who's your favorite character? I know there's so many to pick, but
it has to be Casey Clemens because it's either her, the monster, or the douchey boyfriend. So
I was gonna say I think we are all gonna have the same answer, but
Yeah, this is definitely a 3 for 3.
yeah. I think her name's Jen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I went with Jen too, of course. She's smart. Like I don't know what you were getting at with the whole Boy Scout stuff. You wish you saw more survival stuff.
So the movie just glosses over a lot of stuff. Like, it sort of shows it, but it kind of glosses over all the survivalist things that you should be doing. You should be making a shelter, finding a fresh source of fresh water, food. The three things you need to do first.
She did do a bunch of that.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Kinda. Not enough for me.
I was gonna say she was getting the coconuts, the fish. How much more you want? She wanted her to make a steak dinner?
You only see her get the coconut for the guy at the beginning.
Okay. So you wish there were more coconuts.
And then she has a bundle of them near the end. And then you get to see her try to cut up one fish once. I guess she puts it on a stick and eats it then afterwards. But she just instantly first try spears a fish. Like, come on, where's the attempts at spearing the fish? There's no way you're getting it right on the first go.
Okay.
And then I don't know. It's just there was no background information for us to know that if if she does do all this on the first shot, where's the background information on her being like a survivalist, or she was a Boy Scout, or she was one of those guys in the States. They're not like the real army, but they're like knockoff army. They just do it on the weekends.
No, I agree. I do wish I knew how she was this experienced with all this stuff.
Yeah, like, did you know, like, when you're pointing at the fish in the water, you can't point right at it because the water, there's something with the water when you're looking into it, it's actually off to the side or something like that. Like, that's an actual thing. Does she just know this off of the? I think does she just know this information? It just would have been nice to have one piece of dialogue from the boyfriend that'd be like, wow, all that survivalist training really paid off, huh, Jen? You know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Or it would have been cool if she got like a cut and then she had to deal with the repercussions of getting the cut with infections or something like that. Like, there's a lot of real world scary things that can happen to you in the wilderness with no one else around you for hundreds of miles, and we just kind of breeze over it. She does get a cut at one point, and it's just kind of instantly breezed over.
Yeah. I guess the guy in the beginning also has the thing in his stomach, and she goes to get him water.
See, if she was a real survivalist, she would know not to pull that out, because you pull out, if you're impaled with an object, the worst thing you can do is pull it out, because then it just forces more bleeding.
Well, she doesn't know.
Then how does she know how to do all the rest of this stuff? I guess that's a first aid class kind of thing, but yeah, that's what they teach you in first aid.
Okay, we're going to move on to our least favorite characters.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
It is hard too, because she's, by the end of the movie, we kind of realize that she's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, that part I have a lot to talk about later.
But we don't know if she's actually an unreliable narrator or not, because she's the one that's been narrating this whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This is survivalist and stuff kind of bug me.
Okay. But she's your favorite character still?
Oh yeah, she's badass.
Okay.
Yeah, her ideas to like try to capture the creature and lure him out were creative and good. And stuff like that, and she puts up a good fight. She does do some questionable things that it's like, did you really think that was going to work? But she manages to kind of get out of it and make something work that does work. Like when she makes the hammock in between the trees, I was like, do you really think that's going to work? Like, that thing, you don't know how high that creature can jump. And you don't know if it can climb trees. You don't know what kind of stuff this thing can do. You know, it can swim fast.
She's just doing the best she can.
No, I know. But I would have just like set up a little tree fort in one of the top of the coconut bushes and hid there.
But how do you know it can't climb trees, like you just said?
I know you don't know, but that's what I would have done.
Okay.
I'm not going to hang a hammock between two trees and hope for the best.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. David, who's your least favorite character?
The boyfriend, probably. I can't remember his name because I didn't write it down. But the first moment that he said "sweetheart" in that tone, I was like, "Oh nah, hate you."
Yeah, it's condescending.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I put. Oh god, this is bad, but I put boyfriend and bitch because it's Lucas and Mia. I have my casting sheet here. Especially because he even said like, oh, where are you gonna go when you get out of here? Like, I paid for your life, kinda. So it makes me wonder, like, their relationship back home sounds very controlling on his part and condescending and just gross. And then this girl that he's got with her, I don't know, man. There was some weird shit going on between the two of them that was never really explained, which bothers me. Like you said while we were watching it, were they eating someone else? Did they fuck in that tent? I don't know. My mind went to they cheated because they both thought they were going to die, so they had sex. But who knows, because the movie didn't tell us. Anyway, they were both of them. I didn't like them. I didn't like the looks they were giving each other. Something fishy was going on. What about you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Lucas is just a huge douchebag. Yeah, totally condescending. He's seems very controlling. I think him and the other girl probably killed the other guy, but
Why? There's no explanation.
well, he did say that Jen was starting to talk like the other guy. The other guy doesn't look like he has a name on here. It's not Brad.
It's the other, yeah,
It's
the other guy.
the other actor here, the Stefan.
Okay.
But they said that he was starting to talk like him, so he could be having like some kind of PTSD or shell shock, and just or he starts like seeing things like delusions. Yeah, who knows? But then they could also be doing the same thing. Like you're isolated for so long. Say they're isolated for 3 days. They could, without food or water, they could be getting super paranoid, and then they could have ganged up on him. You don't know. That's the whole point, I guess, is us just speculating.
Mm-hmm.
But he did wash ashore with cuts on his face,
Mm-hmm.
and there's blood on Lucas's knife.
Yeah.
But he was missing his legs too, right? But that could have been sharks or any kind of animal in the water that did that beforehand.
I actually didn't notice that when we watched it.
They didn't have legs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You think they both ate a leg? What would they have cooked it with?
Maybe.
There's no fire out there in the water.
I feel super bad for saying this, but when Jen washes up ashore with Brad and Brad dies, the first thing I said was, "There's your meal for the next couple days." I'm like, I'm sorry, but extreme circumstances, I'm gonna fucking eat you.
Yeah. I think I would hunt something else before I ate a person.
That's
She
easy.
just got there. It was the very beginning of the day. She just arrived. She doesn't know what's on this island.
Yeah, exactly. You know for sure there's a fucking meal sitting right there.
That could make you sick, though. Don't you get sick if you eat human?
Well, as the only cannibal on this podcast, I have to say, you can cope. No, I think if you just ate it like raw, you'd probably do yourself a mischief.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of true crime stories of like there's this one story of this guy. I'm going on a tangent here. There's this guy who like had a date come over, and every time she came over, he would cook her dinner, and she was getting sicker and sicker progressively, and then she went to the hospital, and they're like, "Oh, you've been eating human," and she realized that the guy was cooking her human. I feel like you get sick if you eat human.
Maybe for like vast periods of time, but if you have one
Whole body?
one whole
One Brad?
Yeah.
One whole washed up Brad?
I mean, you got to think about it. You can only eat it for so long before it does go bad. Like you maybe
I
have
guess.
maybe max 2 days if you can find a cold storage
So
spot
she
for 'em.
eats Brad until she finds an animal.
Until she finds another food
Okay,
source.
that makes-
Absolutely.
Okay.
And cannibalism is illegal, people. We are not supporting this idea, but under extreme circumstances, it is. You know,
So I'm not
Yeah,
going to
but-
get stuck on an island with you, is what I'm going to put out there.
just don't die first.
Okay. See, these categories are tough with
One character.
one character that's leading the show, but best acting.
Oh, you know what? Now I'm gonna go off on a different path and say the big fish monster.
Hey, yeah, that's
Okay.
not a bad answer too, though.
On a serious note, it is Kiersey Clemens again.
Yeah, same. She obviously carried this movie,
Yeah,
so it would be wrong to pick anyone else.
this is true.
Score and soundtrack.
Ooh, no, for most of it, I couldn't tell you if there was any music playing, but whenever something like scary was happening or whenever the monster appeared, it was this like synth type music. Like when she fires the flare and it goes down into the ocean and you see the silhouette, it's like straight away there's like a little like sting of synth, and I was like, ooh, because I like when synth is used in horror, like in like Nightmare on Elm Street, where they lean really heavy into like synth. So I liked the score anyway.
I actually only paid attention to it like for the first little bit. I don't have too much to answer on this category for this movie. I did write down it sort of sounded 80s at one point, and that's all I wrote.
I didn't write much of anything down either. I agree with you, Dave. I feel like there wasn't a score for a lot of the non-tense moments, and I think that's just for maybe like an isolating feeling. All you hear around here is the sound of waves and the leaves rustling with the wind and stuff like that. Which gets me to the sound design of this movie. I think it's very good. I like the kind of creature effect noises that there are in this movie, and yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't have too much written down and didn't notice one, because there isn't a whole lot of one.
Yeah, I didn't really notice.
Thank you for making me feel validated.
The first time I watch, you always miss the score.
Yeah.
For me, anyways.
Yeah, because you're focused on the movie. Cinematography.
I'm really bad with like noticing how things are shot unless they do something like really weird, but I was never watching it and thinking, oh, that looks bad, so I'm going to assume it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it's a beautiful setting. So it's hard to not make a beautiful movie when like the shots of the island from above, like, and you see the water and all the trees, like it looked really pretty and like refreshing, and I wanted to go swimming, but again, not there. But yeah, I guess the one scene that you pointed out earlier when she's in like that log and she's spinning and stuff is kind of cool. Yeah.
Nice. I also really enjoy the creature reveal scene with the flare. And it's all dark, and then he's illuminated in the silhouette with the red. It's a very nice scene. I also put down what I wrote down. Beautiful location. I mean, if there wasn't a monster there, I would just stay there.
Yeah.
Don't come fucking rescue me. It's all good.
Yeah. Favorite costumes and outfits.
It was just what they were on the island in, wasn't it? So, yeah, that.
That's okay. Do you have any?
I don't have any written down specifically, but I do gotta admit there's a lot of different fucking outfits in that one luggage bag.
Yeah, which is nice because she could dry her clothes and then like maybe scrub them in the ocean or something and dry them again, I guess. I wrote down some outfits for y'all though. I have the cute outfit in the beginning. She got her jean shorts and it was like a green, I'm guessing it was a full piece bathing suit, but like it could have been a bodysuit, I'm not sure, but she had like this big chunky gold necklace that was really cute. And then her yoga set was cute. Then her blue bathing suit was cute. Then her yellow bathing suit was cute. I wrote down all the outfits. One thing I wanted to bring up was Lucas. He stays in this long sleeve shirt, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna be hot there. Like, I'm surprised he didn't just go shirtless or like find a t-shirt or something. That was bothering me. I'm like, dude's gotta be cold-blooded or something.
Rip some sleeves off.
Yeah. But he stayed in that long sleeve, and I was concerned for his safety. Guess it avoids a sunburn though, maybe.
Yeah.
So, favorite scenes.
Memorable lines, silly dance.
Oh, sorry, my pages are mixed up. Memorable lines for a movie with not much dialogue.
Oh, there was probably some good grunts in there somewhere. The bit where she's writing the note / potentially a will in the book. There was a couple of lines with that, like the one line was, sometimes all we have is our word. I just quite like that. That sounded good. And the way she ends that note as well, she put, I hope this letter is enough for you to believe my story, which I liked as well.
Yeah, I like those too, because it's like, it makes the viewer wonder what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, those are good ones. I wrote down sweetheart. That's a memorable line.
I honestly didn't have any lines.
Yeah, that's fine. There's not a whole lot of lines in this movie.
Yeah.
Do you have lines disliked?
No, not really. I mean, sweetheart is the line I disliked, but that was just because of the way you said it.
Yeah, true. That's fair.
I was just like, you dick.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't write down anything though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Favorite kill?
It's not really like a kill. Well, I mean, there's her when she kills the big fish dude. That's
Okay.
just because that's like a brutal fight. But there's one bit which is a kill, which I think it's a kill anyway. It happens like off screen. It's like the first night where she stays there, and she like in the morning she walks around the corner, and there's just like a big just load of blood there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh no, that's. But yes, that bit I liked just because that was because when I first watched this, I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know there was a fish monster in it. I just thought it was someone on an island, and then you just get the big blood piss, and I was like, oh, damn. So
Yeah, see, I messed up, and when I looked up this movie, I saw pictures of this monster thing, and so I went into this knowing there was one. And to be completely honest, he looks really silly in a still frame photo on Google. So I'm looking at it going, oh my dear God, I'm gonna laugh in this movie. And then it ended up being a fairly serious movie. So I was like, oh, that's not what I expected, but I knew he was gonna be there though. So yeah, I wish I didn't know that, but I went with Mia because because they tie her to the tree and they're not believing her, and so when she is all bloody in the water and just gets sucked out, it's just so satisfying because I'm like, bitch, you should have listened. And you shouldn't have fucked her man, even though I don't know if that happened, but bitch got what she deserved. What's yours?
I went with Lucas. I thought for sure everybody would have been all over Lucas's kill.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think the kill justified how much of a douchebag he was, but
Yeah.
something more creative could have been done. But him getting sucked down into the big black hole essentially was pretty satisfying to watch.
That's true. Yeah, they were both satisfying.
Yeah.
Least favorite kill?
I haven't got anything for that because they all had merit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I also got zip.
I'm just gonna go with Brad was the one in the beginning where he dies from it being pulled out, right?
Yep.
That was just sad. I didn't even know him yet, and I was like,
I
damn.
mean, that was poor decision making.
It was poor
It
decision.
could have been avoided.
It could have been avoided.
That's
But it was still sad because you realize like she's now there alone, which sucks.
Yeah.
Not that it was a bad kill. I'm just saying it. Yeah.
a little
Anyway.
depressing.
Yeah. Gore factor and special effects.
I thought the special effects were good. I mean, because it's one of those things where you can tell it's low budget, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all, but there's certain, like, especially like watching a lot of horror films, which as we do sort of thing, it's like it's mostly set at night. The monster's only there at night. There's no way she could make things brighter apart from with a flicker in. So you sort of notice that those things are like there to paper over some of the cracks, but I think they're still good. There was never a bit where I was thinking, oh, that's definitely a man in a suit, or oh, that's definitely CGI stuff, because there was enough there that like hit it well. So yeah, what was visible, all of it seemed like a-okay to me.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. A lot of the stuff did happen at night. And then the few scenes of gore that we get, like like during the day, like I guess it was coral stuck in him. And the one guy that washes up his face looks all mangled.
Yep.
I thought everything looked all right.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both you guys. I think the Street Shark looks very good.
The what?
Street Shark.
Street Shark?
Yeah. Dave, do you know what Street Sharks are?
Yes, I've never watched it, but I know of them.
Okay, I'm in the same boat. So Street Sharks is a cartoon series from like the 90s about sharks with big muscles that would walk around on land and like beat up bad guys.
So is that the monster you're referring to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just calling him a Street Shark because that's what they were like as well.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. That's how I referenced him throughout my whole page of notes. But I think he looks very good. I actually think when he like dives into the water and swims really fast and then jumps back out and then dives back in, I think that looked fantastic for a CGI.
I wish I loaded a picture of him on here and put it up on the screen just to look at how funny he looks. when he's not in the movie, he doesn't look funny in the movie, but in a still photo, he looks pretty funny.
You should have side by sides beside Street Sharks. And like you said, the coral looks really good. The blood looks awesome. Even the sinking hole, the black hole at the bottom of the ocean looks very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It all looks good.
Okay. Storyline and pacing.
Storyline. Well, I liked the storyline such as it was, just because it was like it kind of looked like the product of someone who'd been like set a writing challenge. Again, this isn't disparaging. It's just like, but it's like, how much stuff can you like strip away from like a narrative, but still make it like a thing where you'd care what happens? Because it's like strip away as many characters as you possibly can, strip away as much dialogue as you can, strip away any reasons for there being a monster as you can, just like taking it as much away as possible and being like, okay, here's what you're left with. Do you care, sort of thing? And it's like, I think it's a testament to to the writers that I still did care about the main character, and it's like massive credit to like her acting ability. And I've rambled enough that I forgot what the question was.
Storyline and pacing.
That was it.
You were doing great.
And the pacing I thought was good as well, because, well, especially if, for me anyway, because I didn't know about the Street Shark, that the pacing worked for me because it like lulls you into a full sense of security. That was like, okay, it's a survival thing. She's gonna go mad soon, and then it's like fires off the flare, and just descends, and you see the monster, and you're like, oh, it's one of those movies. Okay, so I thought the build up and then the psych, there's a monster reveal, like that all worked for me.
Yeah,
definitely. I agree with all those points. I like actually the stripping it down comments that you made. I really like that. I think the pacing's okay. I already kind of went on a huge ramble tear on how I would like some more survivalist aspects added into this, because I do think that's an important aspect, or at least give her some kind of background where that is, because you don't know anything really truly about these characters, what they do. You're just kind of thrown into the situation with them. What? Why you give me that?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. You give me a look like, come on, get off this survival topic. I'm just saying you don't know if she's like a science teacher or something. What's her background? Even with like Lucas and the other person, you don't know what they do financially. Or
I agree with that point.
Yeah, like they have money. You know that. Was the lead character an addict? Like, we don't know why she solely relies on this guy's money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I just would have liked to have a little bit more background there. I also didn't know that there was a street shark in this movie, so that was a nice surprise for me. I thought for sure it was going to be her being stuck in purgatory. I thought for sure that was
purgatory.
Purgatory is like the halfway point in between heaven and hell, where like souls just get trapped and lost.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of thought that that's where she was gonna be at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the ending, I guess I'm gonna talk about this later. I'll talk about that later on. Yeah, I think the storyline and pacing is pretty good. I just like to have a little bit more. Like I need that extra 8 minutes of some dialogue here and there. Like even maybe even just like have her talking to herself like every once in a while, being like, "Oh, I should have stayed in college" or something like that. Like just something. Because if you're telling me you're not going to be talking to yourself within the first 48 hours, I think you're lying to yourself.
Okay.
Would you talk to yourself? At least make a Wilson or something.
I don't know. I don't know if I would be. I'm gonna keep track of that next time I'm cleaning the house by myself and see if I talk to myself. I don't know if I do or not.
I can tell you, like before we started this podcast, I was talking to myself.
With me in the house?
No, I'm just teasing. And besides, I don't talk to myself anymore. Anyways, we got dogs. I talk to them now.
Okay. They're your Wilsons.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I thought the storyline and pacing was good, and especially considering I knew that what was coming. Like I knew what was on this island, and yet I still enjoyed it. I definitely wish I didn't know what was on the island because I think I would have loved it even more. Like maybe this would have been like a movie I really, really loved. Like I don't know. I would
have turned you on the creature features 100%.
Maybe.
I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah. I like some, but just not a lot. But yeah, and the like pacing was fine too. It's only an hour 22. Honestly, that's kind of my perfect movie length, personally. I know some people are like, oh, I would like a 2.5 hour movie. I want to see it forever. And I'm like, no, no, my attention span's not there. But yeah, you don't want to talk about the ending? It's storyline.
No, you can talk about it. It's just in another category for me.
Oh, okay. I guess we've already kind of talked about it. Like, is she lying about all of it? Did this story actually happen? Did she actually kill them all? And like, pretend that there's a monster? I don't know. There's so many different things that could have happened, and it leaves it up to your imagination, which I kind of like, I think. I like that was how it ended and that was left out. But I do agree, I kind of wish I had more backstory on like her and stuff. But
do they explain what she lied about before they got on the boat trip?
They said something about her getting mugged.
Oh, right. She lied about the mugging.
Yeah, which I don't know. It's almost like they were trying to tell us something, but it didn't land. Like they were trying to tell us like, oh, you lied about getting mugged. And then him saying like, oh, I pay for everything. And it's like, okay, we still don't really know what you're getting at, story people. Maybe they thought we would figure it out. Do you have an idea, David?
What is it? I was going to say, I did research. I read Wikipedia thoroughly, but
okay.
There's like social commentary and subtext in it, and I think what they were getting at is that those two people were saying that she was a liar and that they can't trust her and stuff, but the inference sort of thing is that you meant to take away that she was telling the truth and they just don't believe her.
So she had always been a truth teller, but these people are maybe...
Yeah, because it's to do with how it's to do with how or the subtext they were going for was that it was to do with how people don't, as a matter of course, don't believe women, and specifically women of color.
People of color, yeah. I thought that's what you were getting at. That kind of makes a little bit more sense, which is terrible, and makes, yeah, okay. I didn't catch on to that.
Me neither.
But that makes sense.
To be fair, I only knew because it was this morning. I was like, I'm so scared, so I need to find things to talk about that. So I did like a heap of research. the first time I watched it, I was just like, "Yo, that fish is big." So,
Well, you did more research than me, so I appreciate it. That makes them even worse, though. These two people, Mia and whatever the heck his name is, Lucas. Like, it just makes me even more mad at them for thinking she's lying, just judging her, basically, right? Like, you're dating the girl. And probably sleeping with Mia, but anyway, that's my own opinion. I guess we're moving on to the next category.
Favorite scenes.
Favorite scenes, yeah.
It's going to be another repeat, I think, from me, but it is the silhouette. Just because it's like, it's not to say everything else in the film isn't good. It's just that is so just like simple and like a way of striking fear. Again, doing like as little as possible, but on purpose, because she fires off the flare. It doesn't get the attention of the plane, and it's like on a metaphorical scale, as you see the flare descend, it's just like, oh, and there is every ounce of hope she has just falling, and oh god, big monster. So it's
yeah, that is a really good scene.
I wrote that scene down as well.
Did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I actually wrote down the scene where she discovers Brad's body dug up with all the blood, like you said earlier. I thought that was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you write more than one?
Yeah, I wrote two.
Did you write more than one, David, or just one?
I did write one, but like I do have another, which I can talk about, because it was when she was writing the note. Because while I do agree with Brendan that there could have definitely been another 8 minutes in there, I do think that if it had cut at that point where she finished writing the letter and that was the end of the film, I would have still been like pretty like pumped with that, because you had the whole film, everything she's done, and then she goes, "I hope this letter is enough for you to believe my story," and I would have been like, what the fuck? That would have, like, that moment I really liked. So if it had ended on that, I would have like gone to the house of everyone I know going, "You need to watch this film, it's amazing."
What else did you write?
I got is it Jen?
Jen, yeah.
Jen catches the shark.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, you go, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote that one down too, so I'll say a different one. I have when she's running and the monster's running behind her and it like jumps in the water and then jumps back out and then jumps in the water and jumps back. I thought that was sweet.
I know, I like that too a lot. I thought that looked awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And just the way it it's so smooth, the way it moves. Like it just like dives in and dives out and dives in. I don't know. Yeah. That guy's got moves. Slick, yeah.
I got one more scene, and that's where Jen kicks a bitch in the face.
That's my last one too.
I'm like, oh, that fucking hurt. And then she gets smoked in the head with a paddle, and I was like, oh, that hurt even more.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. That was my last one.
But when she kicked her in the face, I was like, I just laughed.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, yeah, you get her.
Oh, do you guys have least favorite scenes?
No, there's nothing that really like sticks out as being like bad. Least favorite ever, as good as the scene is where Lucas gets dragged down to the hole, considering the type of person that he's been, I think it would have been worth it if they'd shelled out a few extra dollars just to have him get ripped in half on the beach, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I have a scene that's mixed.
Okay.
David, are you a Predator fan or Predators?
Yes, but it's been a while since I've seen any of them, but I'll do my best.
I know you haven't. That's why
I've
I'm
not
asking,
seen
David.
any of them.
You remember when Adrian Brody is fighting the super predator at the end of the movie?
Yes.
This seems awfully familiar to this movie.
Oh.
They do the exact same thing. It's flame circle, and he just loops in and out of the flames, attacking the predator to disorientate him because he is heat vision, so he can't see because there's so much heat, right? So he just takes little shots at him until finally he defeats him, and I was just like, oh, this is just a complete like rip off of Predator, but okay.
Fair.
Okay.
Oh, Predators. Sorry, this is Robert Rodriguez's Predators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wrote down when she's opening the coconut and then she doesn't even hold it upright and just like dumps it. Yeah. Like when she's doing it for Brad or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, in the beginning. And she finally gets it open and she's holding it so that it all falls out. I just thought that was dumb.
Yep. Would have been nice to have seen scenes where she actually figures it out how to open it and stuff like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay, whatever. I know. The killer.
Oh, yes, I liked the killer. No, I liked the design of it because it was considering if you were like to give an elevator pitch for this film, it'd be like, okay, Castaway, but Creature from the Black Lagoon. I do like that the design is like Street Sharky. And you've both mentioned it so far, so I'm going to mention it as well. The jumping into the water thing, that's like monster logic that I don't think I've like seen in anything. Like usually the monster will just beeline for whatever they're chasing, regardless of how convenient or not it is for them. Like Ghostface, for example. Who cares if there's a chair in the way? I can get over that. Like, so, but like this, it was just like he was like, "Oh, nah, sod that, I'm swimming," and it was just like logic that I hadn't seen before for like a killer. So I was like, "Hell yeah, he's smart. He can swim and stuff." So yeah, but yeah, I liked him.
Yeah. I like that he bleeds black, and I thought his home is cool. How he's in the hole in the ocean.
Yeah,
that's all I really wrote down. Bleeds black, and he's got a cool home.
Yeah. I also really like how he doesn't get like human characteristics. He's strictly a predator.
Mm-hmm.
He's out for hunting. I wouldn't say he's probably overly at all an intelligent creature. I'm not 100% on that. I just don't remember. It's not like he's making weapons or anything like that, right? Because he's probably never had to rely on any. But I do like that he is just a shark, just so happens that he can walk on land. Mm-hmm. He's just pretty much a shark with a body.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Okay. Scary rating out of 10. What would you rate this? 1 being not scary at all, and 10 being the scariest thing you've ever seen.
And is scariness an indicator of quality in this rating system, or
no?
No, just if you got scared or not. I know it's a tough category as people that watch a lot of horror, but how scary did you find it? I guess.
Oh, in that like not particularly. Like the silhouette shot was effective, but that was pretty much it. And the idea at the beginning that she was going to be on her own, so it'd be, but as good as I thought it was, it would be like a 3 to 4 level in terms of scariness.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I rated it a 1. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a 1 too.
Okay. Rewatchability, and would you recommend?
Rewatchability, yes, because I think, I mean, doing this aside, I've watched it like recreationally probably 3 times, I think, and I do recommend it to people. if the conversation's like about like needing a film to watch. Like at work, people were like, "Oh, you like horror films? What should I watch?" And I was like, and I'm usually like, "Well, if you're going to the cinema, go watch this. But if you've got like the right streaming service, Sweetheart usually comes up as one I'd recommend." So,
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just gonna start pulling up the fun facts. I'm not going on my phone to be rude. I'm just having fun facts.
okay. Yeah, I think it would be a decent rewatch. I'd like to rewatch it and maybe see if I can pick up on some of the underlying social commentary aspects that you were talking about earlier. I would recommend to somebody that's looking for a good bottle film.
What's that?
It's one location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one location, minimal characters.
Okay.
Or somebody who likes creature features, because I do think the creature looks really good. So, yeah, those would be my recommendations.
Okay. For me, I don't rewatch movies often unless it's like amazing or like a comfort film. So probably low on the rewatchability, but I would recommend it. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Okay.
Yeah. So final movie rating as a whole, we rate our movies with emojis. A 1 out of 5 is the poop emoji. Then we have an eye roll emoji. We have the okay emoji, a thumbs up emoji, and a 100 emoji. What would you rate this movie? And if you're somewhere in between, you can say a high thumbs up or a low thumbs up. It's basically a 1 or a 5 rating scale.
okay. Probably. I'm gonna say thumbs up because I can see it not being for everyone, and like if you don't like creature features, then you're really out of luck with this one. And so yeah, because it buries the lead for 40 minutes as well. If you're watching it thinking desert island, great, and then the monster appears, it's like, oh man. So yeah, thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a fair rating. Zoned right out. I went with a low thumbs up just due to the fact that I didn't like the not showing a whole lot of the survival aspects and the ending kind of being a total ripoff of Predators.
Okay. Yeah, I went with a high okay, so a 3.5 out of 5. It was a good movie, and it kept my attention, and I enjoyed the watch. It's just not something I absolutely loved, and it's not something I hated.
Yeah.
So just a solid right in the middle. But yeah, I'm going to bring up some fun facts, which I only have 3.
Sounds like your guest has more fun facts.
I was going to say, maybe David has more, but I'll say my 3. So the script is reported to only be 68 pages in length due to the limited amount of dialogue in this film. Not too surprising. Kiersey Clemens fell in love with her stunt double, Ebony de la Haye, during production of this film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the name of the film comes from one line of dialogue when Lucas calls Jen sweetheart. Surprise. Fun facts. Did you have any that you researched that you want to share, or you pretty much said the ones that you thought of? Or
You don't have to. We're not putting it on.
Yeah, we don't typically ask our guests that,
Yeah,
but we just know you looked it up.
No, it's fine. There was one, but I don't think I've actually made a note of it. No, I
That's okay.
I've either already said it or I've just forgotten about it completely, and I'll remember it when I wake up in the middle of the night.
Like, ah, damn it.
As soon as we end this podcast, it'll pop in your head. That's always how it goes.
Wait, no, yes, I remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
All right.
The director, J.D. Dillard, the first scene that he thought of was the silhouette scene.
Oh, okay.
That was the first scene he thought of as being like what would scare him the most. Would just be seeing like the silhouette of something strange, and he reverse engineered the whole script around that.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I like that because that's a good effective scene. So
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's cool.
All right.
So next week is our first live episode. We don't know what day it's going to be yet. It's probably going to be Thursday night.
Yes, we have a general idea of what it's going to be.
We can say what we think it's going to be.
We might be doing a live episode on Immaculate if it's available to us.
It's supposed to be coming out on Physical Media Tuesday. We just don't know if we'll get it by then. But if we do, then we can watch it Wednesday, do a live episode Thursday. I already did a little review on this on our YouTube, but it would be nice to do an in-depth discussion. And if anyone wants to tune in, you can come in the chat and go along in the discussion with us and say who your favorite characters are. And we'll see if anyone shows up. And if not, it'll get posted to our YouTube anyway. So that's the nice thing about lives on YouTube is they get automatically posted so you can watch it later.
Yep.
So yeah, we're going to do that. And then I'm not sure when our next episode is. It might be with the Bitter Wolf next in a couple weeks. But yeah. But thank you, David, for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. And I am calm now.
Good. Good. You're ready for the after hours show.
Yes. Because you said that was just like shooting the shit, so I don't have to be worried about that because I don't have to appear smart. I don't think.
No, you don't. You were just going to talk about whatever, get to know each other kind of thing. And it's half hour. It's for the Patreon members. So
we're going to learn all your deepest, darkest secrets.
Now he's scared. But do you want to tell everyone your link again on Twitter or X, so they can follow you and talk horror?
Oh, yeah, it's at SparklyGoodness, capital S, capital G. If things are case sensitive on there, I don't know if they are. Yeah, and, if you want to talk to me, you can. But in terms of what I post, it's just very, very, occasionally I'll post my own opinions on things. I will always post what I'm watching that evening. So if you have strong thoughts about whatever it is I'm watching, then feel free to sound off in the comments about it and stuff. So yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Do you want to plug us out?
Absolutely. We are Our Life in Horror, and you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. We also have a Patreon where we do extra content. And we have an email at ourlifeinhorror@hotmail.com.
Yep, perfect. Thanks for listening, guys, and stay spooky.